morning.
Morning.
Welcome to Fairway Mazda today. I'm Mike, and you are?
I'm Carmen.
Carmen, very nice to meet you. Thanks for coming out to see us today, Carmen. Could I also ask you, what brought you in this morning?
Well, I've just begun my car shopping adventure and decided to come out and brave the wilds of the automotive market. I've never bought a new car, and it's been tough not to procrastinate because it seems like such a daunting task.
Well, I can appreciate being new to the market, but you'll have no worries here. At Fairway Mazda, our goal is to provide you with all the important, requisite, and necessary helpful information so you can make an informed decision eventually. Consider me your sales concierge.
Concierge, huh? So, could you recommend a good restaurant?
Absolutely. What kind of cuisine do you like?
Usually spicy food with, were you serious?
Most definitely so. Like I said, we're here to help. You know, a lot of our customers come from out of town, and while they're here, they'll eventually want to know about nice places to have lunch or dinner. I'd like to think I help them out in even small ways by recommendations.
Well, I live in town, but I don't take enough opportunity to dine out. I could certainly take some suggestions about restaurants and automobiles.
Great. Well, you certainly came to the right place for that last one. As a local, what type of driving do you normally do? Does your daily commute keep you in town?
Yeah, I'm an assistant IT director for Fastlane Enterprises down Abercorn Street. I don't commute far on a daily basis, but I'm in my car all the time.
Well, what are you driving currently, and are you wanting to stay with that style or maybe go in another direction?
Well, I have a Toyota 4Runner, and it's just okay. The SUV thing is fine, but I was thinking of changing it up, but I'm not sure. In addition to Mazda, I'm considering Toyota and even Honda.
Well, what is it you need your next vehicle to do for you? You said you're in your 4Runner quite a bit. How often would you say that was?
Well, I'm typically shuttling around town much of the day, so something sporty might be ideal. I like to stay linked in with the office as much as possible, and with my tech industry background, that's important. Also, it'd be nice to be able to drive a truly fuel-efficient vehicle. This old Toyota drinks gas like it's pulling through a beer bong.
That's a tough one. I'll tell you, it sounds like it'll put a dent in the old monthly balance sheet. Also, it sounds like maybe parking might be an issue from a day-to-day basis as well. What do you like about what you're driving right now, and what would you change?
Well, I do like the hatchback feature, but at this point in my life, I'm looking to streamline things a little. Obviously, driving the fossil fuel fiend is a bummer, but you're right about parking. Downtown is all about parallel parking. It can get tough to find spots for a larger vehicle. I'd also like the technology perks that come in a new car and that could give me both driving and connectivity related. Mike, I don't even have Bluetooth in my ride.
Well, Carmen, fret no longer here. We're here to turn that driving frown upside down. Allow me to acquaint you with the interactive Mazda sales app. Now, it's a convenient way to survey your market options as well as learn about Mazda. Here we have presented a handy representation of the entire lineup. Now, all these vehicles are relatively tech savvy, but if maximum fuel economy is what you're looking for, you're going to find it with the 2014 Mazda 3. Matter of fact, here's a 5-door hatchback right here.
That's a nice look.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Would you like to survey some of the trim levels and available options to see if it's right for your needs and budget?
Definitely.
Well, let me explain. The S-Series is going to offer you the greatest complement of tech-minded features. It's also going to sport the 2.5-liter Skyactiv engine, which is more powerful than the 2-liter, but still gets you 37 miles per gallon on the highway, which means it's going to get you 27 miles per gallon in the city. Now imagine, Carmen, how many laps around the historic district that's going to allow you to do per gallon of gas.
Probably many red lights worth. The bane of my workday existence.
I can understand that. Well, you know, the Grand Touring trim level is going to offer the technology package itself. That's going to include iActive Sense driving features as well as the unique IE loop system. You can get into one under 30K. Does that sound like something that would fit your budget?
Absolutely.
Well, great. Allow me a moment to produce that trim level. Do you like lighter or darker colors?
Well, I don't usually prefer one over the other, but I do like your white. White diamond on a Cadillac Escalade, I think it is.
We do have a white, yes. Carmen, it's actually it's white snowflake white pearl mica. I'll be right back with one of those, but in the short meantime, let me let you take another look at the Mazda sales app. Because here's a convenient way to compare and contrast commensurate offerings from Honda and Toyota. The information is compiled by an independent third-party source. And, well, as far as streamlining things for you, is what you had mentioned before, this will do just that to your shopping experience. Also, here's a great way to explain Skyactiv technology and how it can benefit you.
Oh, cool.
So let me let you hold that.
Thanks.
I'll be back shortly.
Well, that's good looking.
Yeah, well, I wish I could take credit for it. I didn't build it, we just represent it here. But speaking of which, I guess I should start with explaining Skyactiv very briefly. Now, the core of Mazda's newest generation is Skyactiv technology. which I feel can best be summed up as the concert of engine, transmission, and chassis all working together to compose sweet, sweet driving notes for its occupants. Mazda engineers have redesigned the piston heads to successfully allow for greater compression in the cylinder, so that, in turn with the lighter but stronger body frame and an extremely efficient transmission, all work to produce a crescendo of driving enjoyment.
So this Mazda 3 is fuel efficient and responsive?
Yes, it is, but you know, the parade of smile-inducing features just doesn't begin and end with Sky Active. After all, when you drive a Mazda, it means driving a vehicle that typically has a sporty suspension feel.
Well, I suppose that's where the zoom zoom comes in.
Absolutely. One of the many areas you'll experience that particular phenomenon. For instance, with the IE Loop regenerative braking system, you're going to actually increase your fuel efficiency with that feature. As the first such innovation of its kind in this industry, IE Loop employs a capacitor to save the normally wasted motion energy that is lost when you lift your foot from the accelerator. But in this case with IE Loop, it's going to take that saved energy and power your electronics.
That's impressively responsible.
It gets even more responsible with the active driving feature Smart City Brake Support. Now, Carmen, I'm sure there are moments during the day as you travel around town that you have to pay particular heed to this or that, and I mean aside from all those red lights you're worried about.
No kidding. I mean, the tourists, and they're great for the economy. I mean, we're happy to have them. They visit the city, but honestly, they have an incessant way of gumming up the traffic works. It can get bad. On the worst days, it's like trying to navigate a zombie apocalypse.
Well, that is pretty bad. Well, let me explain. Between 2 and 18 miles an hour, Smart City Brake Support is going to use a laser to determine if the collision is unavoidable. And it'll take the necessary steps and brake accordingly. Now, that's what I call Smart City Brake Support. But perhaps in your case, we can call it ZTASS.
ZTASS?
That's right. Zombie Tourist Anxiety Suppressor System.
Nice. But will it really do this? Sometimes pedestrians will just seem to come out of nowhere and materialize in my driving path, crosswalk or not.
That's right, Carmen. Whether on foot or in their vehicles, these greatly appreciated yet sometimes completely oblivious sightseers will no longer be the menace that they once were. Consider your tourist anxiety threat level 0.
Wow, that's a game changer.
So be it. Now, as far as connectivity is concerned, let me introduce you to the Mazda Connect infotainment system. Now, the apparatus is going to use a 7-inch touchscreen monitor to access a host, a litany, if you will, of connectivity-minded applications. Whether you're an idle or on the go in your Mazda, you're always going to be connected to your world at large. Now, you mentioned the lack of a hands-free phone system in your 4Runner. Do you text much at all?
All the time, but never while driving. It'd be so convenient if there was a safe way to do that.
Well, thanks to Mazda Connect, there is. The SMS text audio delivery system will allow you to listen to incoming text messages as well as reply through a preset menu. Now, of course, the Bluetooth system will let you make and receive calls by the flick of a button.
What about navigation? Many times the addresses that I'm trying to find in the city are difficult, and doing that while trying to find adequate parking is a task.
Yeah, well, the navigation system through Mazda Connect is as visible and comprehensive as anything Mazda offers. With its extensive list of menu options and settings, not to mention its 7-inch center mount monitor, finding your way around town or wherever you're headed will be a snap. And hey, when you get to your destination, Carmen, you can use the rear view camera to make quick work of that parallel parking.
Sweet.
Say, Carmen, are you ready for the stumper of the day?
Sure, I like trivia. What do you got?
Man after my own heart. In the event of a severe or moderate collision, the Mazda Connect E911 system will dial which number?
411?
So close. Would you like to try again?
Yeah, I got this. Let me see. Like a good neighbor, state.
No, I'm sorry. It will not dial your magical insurance agent. However, Mazda Connect's E911 system will dial 911.
Yeah, I knew that.
Of course you did. Carmen, you seem to be a guy that likes to have your share of fun. I bet you like your music as well, too.
Oh yeah, when I get a chance, I play my tunes at work. I feel that it enhances my level of creativity. I like to feel inspired when I have a job to do.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I mean, I feel like a background of quality music really adds another dimension to the workday. What sort of music do you listen to?
Well, I like it all, really. Whatever sounds good, but lately I've been turning into a lot of jam bands.
Like the Grateful Dead?
Oh, of course, but also some of the more contemporary, you know, like Widespread Panic and Fish.
Yeah. Hey, do you have any fish on your phone?
Of course.
Could I?
Yeah, sure.
I thought we'd test out the Bose audio system with the center point delivery through 9 performance speakers. Might as well listen to fish while we do it.
Sounds great. Mike, my friend, you have some good taste.
Hey, I resemble that remark. After all, it did come from your phone now. I guess we share that taste. Well, I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark, Carmen. I'm going to guess that you probably use Pandora.
Oh yeah, and Stitcher too.
They're both great apps. You know, you'll be happy to know that infotainment is integrated to both those internet services as well as AHA. What this means is wherever you go in your Mazda, you're always going to be able to enjoy your customized playlist directly through the Mazda Connect system. And while you can't do a whole lot about all those red lights you'll be running into eventually, you can remain entertained by the soundtrack of your choosing.
That's outstanding.
Well, Carmen, as we review the capabilities of the 3, can you see how Mazda's a brand that can save you time and money as well as keep you connected to your lifestyle?
Without a doubt, I'm glad to see that Mazda is so competitive.
Yeah, I mean, all it remains now is to see how it feels when it's in gear. What do you say we take it out on the road and put it through its rigors?
Well, I hadn't thought about test driving today, but I am curious to see how it performs.
Well, you know, the best way to appreciate what Mazda can offer is basically from behind the wheel on the road. You know, what better way is there to get a feel for a vehicle than through a comprehensive test drive?
Well, that does make a lot of sense. I'm in.
Well, great. And remember, the bottom line is the driving experience underscores what Mazda's all about. Why don't you have a seat in the passenger seat? Now, Carmen, here's a representation of the test drive route we're about to take. Mazda's reputation as a driver's car will be on full display here, and pay particular attention to the driving dynamic as you put the 3 through its paces. We at Mazda like to dispense the 100-meter promise. Everything about this car is tailored and engineered and designed to create a complete connection with the driver within the first 100 meters.
Well, what are some of the things I should be looking for?
The basics, braking, acceleration, changing directions, changing lanes, those kinds of things. All the things that are really going to showcase the mettle of a true driver's car. Like for instance, as you carve the corners, especially at freeway speeds, does the steering wheel, does it feel weighty and firm? When you go to accelerate, does the gas pedal respond proportionately to your input? When you change lanes, does the frame feel rigid and stable? And through S-curves, i.e. Rapid changes in direction, does the car remain fluid? In short, does the Mazda say sports car to you?
Well, great. Let's do it.
Well, okay, sounds great. Now remember, pay particular attention to these driving cues because once you put the Mazda into gear, you can go from 0 to awesome in nanoseconds flat. Ready when you are? Onward.